This is my notebook. So here's my table of contents. I have my notes organized by the topics that we covered each week. So my first section is trunk control and balance, then motor learning and sensory motor, sensation, edema control, strength and coordination, eating and swallowing, transfers and upper extremity function and management, traumatic brain injury, CVA stroke, cardiac and pulmonary disease, polytrauma, and hips and arthritis, neurodegenerative disorders, spinal cord injury, and then burns and amputations and prosthetics. So I have the syllabus up in the front, and then I have the goal writing cheat sheet that you typed up for us. And then I have all of my treatment plans up in the front. Treatment plans. The lab final that we just did. And so I have a piece of colored paper separating each of my different sections. So here's the the notes for week 1, the trunk control and balance section. And then I have the lab for each week at the end of the sections. So next, we have the motor learning and sensory motor section. It's got the P&F patterns, the Fugelmeyer assessment. What's the next section? Sensory fine motor and strength. It's got the dermatomes chart, 2-point discrimination. And then I had printed out this whole handout with the different food consistencies because I thought that was a really good resource to have. So I have that whole packet in here. And the eating and swallowing notes, transfers. What was this? Oh, and then I have this, so it has just the upper extremity function and management. So there were some charts in a PowerPoint that I typed that up with the different like manipulation tasks, activities for retraining reach patterns, constraint-induced movement therapy. Yeah, just different stuff on upper extremity. Then we have the brain injury section. NHO's levels. Just all my notes and lab notes in that section. And then this was a chart that was in the book. There were a couple charts that you said that were good resources to have, so I typed that up. So it's the common stroke syndromes chart, and then the lacunar stroke syndromes and anatomic sites chart, and then the 4 major hypertension intracerebral hemorrhage syndromes. So yeah, you had mentioned those charts before in the book, so I just went and typed them. And this section, cardiac and pulmonary disease, polytrauma, hips and arthritis. Then we have neurodegenerative disorders. And I included a couple more handouts in this section that I think we got these in Dr. Falgren's class, but I just added them to this notebook. So this is the Global Deterioration Scale for Assessment of Primary Degenerative Dementia, and then the Functional Assessment Staging. Then we have the spinal cord section. So I have the Asia chart. This chart, I think, was in one of the PowerPoints. But yeah, it just has the functional activities for each level. And then I had printed this resource out that I really like. So it has task activities, expected functional outcomes, and equipment for each neurological level, and it's T1 and then to L1. And then I also had typed this up that was really helpful in writing the goals for my treatment plan. But it has functional goals for each of the spinal cord levels. And then just notes from the PowerPoints and the labs. And then the last section that we just did, the Rule of Nines chart and the London-Browder chart. And then burns and amputations. And that is it. So, yeah. My notebook.